All right, so now I want to create these little text objects here, and I could absolutely do this with no problem at all in Substance Painter, and in fact for the Nintendo logo, I don't even, like, as far as like using that in this tutorial, I probably can't, but I can use these here. I want to try to not get sued if I can avoid it. All right, so what we're going to do is we need to find a font that looks like this. Whether or not we were going to do this in Painter or Maya, we would still need to find this font. So for this, I like to go to this website right here, which is called defont.com. And the thing that's cool about it, let's go to the front here. So I'm going to go to Techno. You can basically type whatever you want. So there's select start. And then I'm going to set this to 200 because I live in the future. And my internet can handle loading a few extra kilobytes here. So you can basically just go through and then bam, there you go. That one looks pretty good. That's kind of what I'm looking for. So, and some of the hallmarks here, it doesn't have to be perfect, but it's like those little E's that look like threes kind of. This nice S here, like it's pretty close. Maybe the L might be a little bit softer here, but it's so close. Like the A isn't correct, but whatever, who cares? It doesn't have to be perfect. It's just a resource for you to play with. And then once you grab it, it'll look like this. You just want to go to the download, and it'll download as a zip file. And then once you have that, you can go to the following location. If you are on a Windows machine, you go to C, Windows, Fonts. And then all you have to do is, where'd it go? One second. This is what it'll look like. So you got your TTF file, that's the text itself, the text file. You just drag it into your fonts folder. I've already done it, so I don't need to reinstall it. It's, I don't know, I guess one of these confags. So that's all you have to do. And then you'll need to restart Maya. Some programs you don't have to restart. Photoshop will pick up new ones on the fly. You don't have to worry about that. But in this case, I just had to restart Maya, and now Maya has access to that font. So how do I use it? I'm going to go to Create, Type, and then I will write Select. And for my font, we'll go to the C section, and where is Contracts? And there we go. So I have this great big text object. I'm going to make another one. So create, type, and then we'll write start. And for some reason it's not smart enough to remember the one that I used just before. Deselect, we'll make a new one called B and one called A. So we will go to create, type, and then B and A. And we'll go find the C section and contracts. Okay, so I don't need any of this depth stuff back here. I need the extruded geo. So we'll just go to face. I'm going to go to the top view. And we can delete all that stuff there. And then same thing over here. I have to do this in a couple passes. Oops. And then for our A and B. Great. All right, and then these guys, I'm going to actually do a split on this. Separate. So now they are independent. I'm going to select them all, and then we'll just scale them way down. And it remembered its starting point there for the scaling. Clearly still too large and pointed in the wrong direction. Whoops, I forgot select there. So you want to make sure you're not eyeballing anything. We'll go ahead and set that to 90, and then I'm going to rotate it this way, and I can see that's going to be a negative 90. And it's going to get even smaller. So I want to make sure they're all selected while I'm figuring out the size of the font so that they are all the exact same font. Or sorry, the exact same size. And then we can scoot start over. And actually it looks like the letters B and A are actually bigger. Just a little bit, but they are still the same size relative to one another. We want this to be sitting as close to the top of the surface as possible. Alright, let's see. Somebody out there is going to be really angry that I've got the wrong A set up. So I just apologize in advance. So it looks like the select is centered over that button and the start is more or less centered over the button that it owns. So perhaps something like that, and then maybe these can get a little bit bigger. I'm gonna modify center pivot these so that when I expand them, they're growing out from the middle now. And then all of these are going to be red. So we'll go to our hypershade, right click and make them red. Let's just do a little bit of a check one more time on this. Make sure all of our proportions are kind of close. I'm actually not feeling super confident about this. I think I'm going to drop it down so that we just have that little ridge around top of it. And this one I think I'm just going to have to leave it up. And again, with these buttons, there's enough roundness here that I think it'll probably get picked up by the normal map, but we may need to come in and actually flare the base a little bit so that we get that angle so that the bake will actually see it. I think I'm going to probably add most of this stuff into the low poly, and it'll become clear why this may or may not actually work shortly. But anyway, alright, so there's our high poly. Let's go ahead and organize it. Like right now this is just a complete disaster, so I'm going to go ahead and save the file. I'm at 8 minutes now, so I tell you what, before I do anything destructive with the naming and the reorganization, I'm going to go ahead and stop the video and we'll pick it up in the next one.